Hello, I am the LI Beer Geek, and today I am going to be reviewing the Handsome Maniac by Sandcity out of Northport, Long Island. It is a Belgian triple, and as just sort of a heads up, Belgian triples are among my absolute favorite styles of beer. So I may be a little biased in both my expectations as well as my personal preferences. So this beer is out of a growler, and as a result, there's nothing really to show in terms of either bottle or can label art, aside from the logo on the growler itself, which I'll show you right here. It's just a standard brewery logo, really. It's got the name of the brewery, Sandcity, which I know is inverted in the camera, and these little Sonic the Hedgehog style spikes around it. Which, for my fellow gamer fans, you'll know what I'm talking about, and as for the rest of you, I guess you're just kind of left in the dark. Well, now that we've looked at the growler, let's get to the beer proper, shall we? It's a lovely golden hue, which is exactly the way a triple should look. That's sort of off yellow, goldeny color with great highlights. It's even like, almost like glowing on my hand, you can see, which is, quite lovely. It's just beautiful looking, but aside from the lack of head. But, when you get up to above 9, around 10%, that sort of screws around with your head retention. So that's to be expected. You're really only going to big head on a beer like that if it's very hoppy, or if you give it like a aggressive pour into a proper chalice, and this is more of a enlarged tulip. Well, let's take a smell. It has a lovely, very sweet malty aroma, almost vanilla-y, with a lot of that spiciness from noble hops and Belgian yeastiness, which is appropriate for the style. And of course, there's a bit of a burn on the nose from its hefty 10% ABV. And now that we've taken a smell, let's have a look at how it tastes. Again, much like the nose, it is very sweet. But not cloying. It doesn't get that sort of sickly kind of sweet flavor again in the back of your mouth when you drink straight up sugar water or something that's overly sweet. It's sweet, but not so sweet that it becomes, cloying. It's also, plenty of that spiciness from the ABV as well as the Belgian yeast, which gives that sort of phenolic estery kind of spicy flavor, which if you've familiar with Belgian styles, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And if you're not, it's a little difficult to describe, actually. It's almost medicinal. The way a Band-Aid or a medicine cabinet smells? It's kind of like that, but again, to quote my last two videos, not in a bad way. It's quite tasty. It has that just sort of spice on it, which, again, there's such a significant malty character to it that all this extra complexity can, again, sit on top of it and just add depth to it so it's not just this cloying sweet bomb. And, again, it just gives it this Moorish kind of very drinkable character to it that just makes you want to have another sip. So I'm going to. So good. Again, like I said, I'm a fan of this style in particular. So I would say that if you really are a fan of the style of Belgian triples, this is definitely a beer you should seek out. If whenever Sandcity has it, or if they ever can it, or anything like that, I would highly recommend you checking this out. If you're not a fan of Belgian beers, or if you've never had one, or if you don't really, if you're unfamiliar with the style, I would say this is actually a good one to cut your teeth into. It's not super Belgian-y. It's not super funky. If it has that characteristic that is that denotes a Belgian style ale, but without being so over the top that it's going to alienate people who don't just love that flavor. It's just a very well done example of the style that is going to please people who are already fans of it. And it's approachable for those who either may not be particularly fond of the style or are unfamiliar with it altogether. So again, if you are a fan of the style, check it out. And even if you're not, it's at least worth a taste. So that's the end of the review. If you enjoyed it, you can find me on Twitter at libeer_geek. And if you enjoy the video, likes, comments, and subscribes are always appreciated. And I will see you next time. Have a good one.